Good day to you, family of God. It's such a privilege as the CEO of AFM Welfare. AFM Welfare is the welfare, the department of the church. So very important role. CEO might sound important. It's the same term as director, the head of the organization. And it's important for me to just indicate that I'm privileged to be a servant of God in this particular way. I want to talk to you about child protection. Firstly, child protection in our own houses. Very short. We are responsible for the safety of our children. We are responsible to protect our children. We are responsible to know exactly what our children are doing, where they are going to when we are at work. Most families, mothers and fathers are working. What happens to our children? What happens to the children over weekends when they go out? We've got to know the roles of our children. Secondly, I want to talk about something in the community about child protection. And that is when we have children that are roaming the streets, that are living on the streets. The church has a specific role to play. We can feed them, we can engage them, we can check why are they on the streets. We don't encourage them to remain on the streets. We must try and get them off the streets, back into the community and back into school. Then I want to talk about to the church itself by saying, I want to challenge you. You have a building and it's good to have the services on a Sunday, it's good to have the services in the evenings, but what happens in the day? It's important that we use, an example that I want to use today is, in terms of protecting children, that's a very good idea for you to start considering the possibility of an after-school center or a drop-in center. Drop-in center is the term that welfare uses, and after-school centers is this term that comes from the school situation, the education situation. There are 5 things that you can do. But first of all, before you start a drop-in center, find out if there's a need. But if you just go outside your church, you'll see lots of children roaming the streets. So there is a need for this kind of a center. Secondly, what you do is find volunteers that are available to provide either of the following areas that should be met in a drop-in center. The first one is a protection of children generally. Your church becomes a safe haven for those children. Secondly, you provide them with a meal, even if it's soup and bread. You know, the children are hungry. Many children don't have food to go home to go to where there's food. You provide in that particular need. You also provide an opportunity for them to do their school work, either homework or they do some research, have a computer or so ready where they can do that. And then there's time for recreation. And lastly, there's time to pray with them and there's time to share God's word. And in that way, you bring them closer because not all of them will belong to our church. It's so important for us to look at our roles in our community, our roles in the church, but also our roles in our own homes. If we don't do anything about the scourge of child abuse, the following is important to listen to. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is that good men do nothing. Important for us to take a stand to make sure that our children are safe. Let's make a difference in the lives of our children. Let's make sure that our children are safe. Thank you so much.